Hello everybody and welcome to the sunny and stunning Belgian Ardennes and the circuit de Spa-Francorchamps, where we are gearing up for our annual European Spa Day and round 5 of the British GT Championship, live from Belgium this weekend. We only crossed one sea to get here, but we'll start with two of them. 2Cs Motorsport and our championship leaders, Charles Dawson and Cian Dewis, unstoppable over the first two rounds, won the first race of the season, top score in the second, but a rather disappointing last round has brought this car right back into contention. Kevin Say and Maxi Gertz in the sister Mercedes AMG got their first win of the year at Alton Park last time out. Were race winners here last year as well, in dominant fashion as well, incidentally, but they will have the maximum pit stop compensation time to serve. It'll move us on to Optimum, which are helpfully just here, just coming down the pit lane now. Morgan Tilbrook and Marvin Kirchhoff's 720S GT3 Evo runs third in the championship. We'll be looking for a big score this weekend. And then we've got Optimum's McLaren Artura DT4s, Harry George and Luca Hopkinson, and our runaway championship leaders at the moment, Mark Warren and Jack Brown. Would you believe already they've got a 50-point lead in the championship? They could pretty much park up for Frites and Mayo this weekend if they wanted and still be comfortably out front when they want, but there are enough cars chasing him and enough races left. Jack also hasn't had the best luck here this weekend. Sorry, Jack, don't mean to throw that on you. Behind a strategically placed fuel rig, and in what you'd call an Optimum sandwich, an ice cream sandwich of sorts, Beach Team Motorsport, Andrew Howard and Tom Wood with the new Aston Martin. Great colours on that. That will look fantastic up Eau Rouge. Hopefully it won't melt in the heat. Bum bum. And around our McLaren to the sister car, where we've got a change this weekend in the number 3. Mike Price has chosen to take a bit of a sabbatical for this year. So this weekend, Callum McLeod will be joined by none other than British GT's professional parachute driver, Matt Topham. He's back in a McLaren. He's also raced an Audi, a Lamborghini, all sorts of things. So welcome back, Matt. Then we've got just in there, they're hiding for this weekend. They're keeping in the shade, keeping their cool. We've got Team ABBA Racing with the Nearys, Sam and Richard. Incidentally, Spa, British GT got a long history with it. The first visit for us here was actually way back in 1998. So that's quite a lot. By my counting, I believe this is our 17th visit here. So for who this weekend will it be? Heaven 17. I wasn't going to do that joke, but the temptation was just too much. Away from my bad dad jokes, and now on to a team that's had quite a lot of change, I think it's fair to say. This is an unfamiliar sight. So the Lotuses for Mahiki Racing are gone. We instead have 3 brand new Ginetta G56 GT4 Evos. They will be stickered up, so you will be able to tell which one is which, but quite a mighty effort from these guys so far. One shakedown test with Ginetta. The cars arrived late last night and they'll be straight in to testing and then the race weekend getting used to it. We've also got a few changes on the driver front here. So Stephen Lake is now partnered with Blake Anglis, who makes his first race start of the year, was obviously in the paddock McLaren last year. Jack Mitchell moves across to partner Josh Miller in the silver car, and the third car of Ian Duggan and Joe Wheeler remains unchanged. So it'll be interesting to see how those guys go. Obviously Ginetta, massive British GT stalwart, sticking with another British brand. Just not quite had the luck with the Lotuses this year, fair to say, but it will be very, very interesting to see exactly what they can achieve on very limited testing. So moving on, we've got another GT3, Orange Racing. Simon Orange and Marcus Clutton, still one of the most impressive liveries on the grid, I reckon. Love the matte blue on that. Been going well this year, so we will see what they can achieve as well. Then we've got our first Ferrari, Matt Griffin and Duncan Cameron in the fantastic green. We don't see enough green Ferraris. That pair have got a load of experience here. Obviously, they've been running in ELMS. They race here pretty much every year, know it inside out. Could be one to watch. Ferrari could be a dark green horse. And then on to Paddock Motorsports. Mark Smith and Martin Plowman. That car has been getting quicker and quicker, inching its way inside the top 6. There's been a lot of technical changes behind the scenes. It's really showing, and Mark is cleaning up in the GT Cup at the minute. I believe 7 races in the last 9 he's won outright. So, could be a good bet. Blackthorn AMR with the Aston Martin Giacomo Petrovelli and Johnny Adam. This is a car looking for its first win and has not been far away. It was so unlucky here last year, almost nailed on second place before some kind of failure took the car out, but it's been very quick, and Aston is quite at home around the fast sweeps of Spa, so we shall see. Century Motorsport, they had an up and down year, I think it's safe to say here last year. Ravi Ramid and Charlie Robertson, they run second in the GT4 points. Quite a lot of ground to make up. Disastrous Alton Park, things just did not go their way. This year, Century did win the GT4 race here last year, so they will be needing to replicate that kind of form to close that gap here this weekend. And then we've got the sister car just behind another fuel rig of Chris Salkeld and Brandon Templeton. Podium last time out, so they'll be on it. They'll want a bit more silverware. On to, speaking of silverware, who had money on the Honda for the last one? Bridger Motorsport, the Honda NSX GT3 Evo 2. Change in this car, Chung Chung Ip is now partnered with team owner Jay Bridger, standing in for Luke Garlick for this one. Third place last time out at Alton Park, sensational result. Does mean they're going to carry pit stop compensation time for this weekend, but still, it's great to see the Honda out with us, and it will look good going around here. Team Parker Racing, 2 GT4s this weekend. We've got no GT3 Porsche. It will be back for Snetterton. Sven Muller was otherwise engaged at the Nürburgring 24 Hours. You know, that small club race that's going on about an hour and a half away. So instead, we've got the Endurance Cup entry of Seb Morris and Ed McDermott, and also welcoming back the car of John Curry and Phil Keane, which missed Alton Park after picking up some damage in a test here, but as you can see is back in one piece. And what is British GT without Phil Keane? One of our longest running servicemen. Good to have him back. And finishing up with the defending team's champions, we've got Barwell Motorsport. As you can hear, the crowd going wild for them. Bit of a mixed Alton Park for these guys. First win of the year for Hugo Cook and Rob Collard aboard the number 1. That has moved Hugo right into championship contention. And then in the sister car, we have got Alex Martin, this time partnered again with Patrick Kujala. Sandy Mitchell away racing IMSA, I believe, Watkins Glen for this weekend. And that concludes our pit roundup. Don't forget, we are live on YouTube for every session from pre-qualifying. There's no Sunday morning warm-up, so tune in to watch pre-qualifying and qualifying on Saturday, and then the 3-hour race on Sunday afternoon. We'll see you there.